Yo, little scalpel out, baby. Let's go. Got the webcam going. Ah, freaking upgrades, man. Get this little ring light going. How's that look? Bright as shit. Alright. Let's freaking go, man. You already know what time it is. Time to go for the quick review. Two nice plays at the open today. And we just got to talk about it. First one was STI. Made a nice move pre-market, right? This is what brings it to attention, right? Start getting volume. Volume was a little lighter on this move. Gonna try to get to where we can. There we go. Yeah, so made a nice little pop. Consolidate a little bit. Little 5-minute flag here, little 5-minute flag action, but this one's gonna be a little tougher because we don't have volume. More of those stories. We made a nice pre-market push. This is where it started hitting watch lists, man. And that's important because when we're trading these 5-minute bullish momentum setups, we need people to be watching these. We need eyes on it. We need socials on it. Whoever's going to be on it. We need volume to come in. That's exactly what we got at open. Just thinking about what was being watched since open. We did have GV, which made a pop pre-market. I was kind of unsure about it, but I did throw it on the watch list. But once I seen this volume coming in, kind of replicating the penny stock that we traded yesterday, I had a good feeling, good hunch that this was going to be the one that I wanted to trade. And that is exactly what happened. Look at this beautiful push out of the open. 33 mil, 20, another 34 mil, 24 mil. This is amazing volume. Almost 100 million shares of volume in the first 15 minutes. And that is what I was interested in. This thing, like again, we want the stock that is making sense. The ones that have all the eyes on it, because that's how these 5-minute patterns are going to work. Look at this beautiful pre-market pivot that we had. Popped, rejection. This is a key resistance level. During open, we broke above that. What are we looking for? The first 5-minute pullback to come back to this level, or the 5-minute 8, or VWAP, whichever come first, whichever makes sense. In this case, we had the pullback to the pre-market pivot, and we had the VWAP confluence. Now, this one was a little trickier because we did have this knife candle. Normally we want to see this nice push up, a lower volume, a little bit of a slower consolidation, so we're not seeing any major like rejection or like heavy selling or anything like that. But this thing knifed right down to it, and I hit the trigger as soon as I seen this thing, because I was already finger on the trigger watching for the first 5-minute pullback to the 5-minute 8. So I was already waiting. Ideally, this is not what you want to see, but again, in my brain, I'm thinking we're holding this pre-market pivot. We're getting wicks off of VWAP. I'm like, if this thing keeps breaking down under VWAP, I'm just gonna cut it. I'll cut it, give it some time, maybe wait for a re-entry or reposition. But once I seen this thing consolidating over, look at this volume started to drop a little bit, lower volume on the selling. I had conviction that we were going to hold up on this level because other traders are looking at this pre-market pivot. Other traders are wanting to get on off the 5-minute 8, VWAP. And again, this is the first 5-minute pullback. This is the lowest risk setup. We just made this nice pullback. If it's going to pull back more, and we're in here, we don't have as much risk as if we're playing this freaking crazy shit. You know what I mean? We're being patient, waiting for the 5-minute pullbacks. And this thing was money, man. I took a starter on the way down. I think I had like 2075s, not the best average, but I did add more into full size right here off of VWAP. And again, I was looking for that volume to come back in. I wanted to see it start pulling away. I don't really want to see it hang out here too much. That's a lot of indecision. This is the first 5-minute pullback. We want to see this thing go. And that's exactly what happened. Once we started pulling away from VWAP, volume started to pick back up. This is important. We want to see volume on this move up. If volume was like lower right here, it's just an indication of weakness. You know what I mean? So this thing might still go, but you always want to see the volume come back in. You want to see volume remain consistent. Look at this opening volume. Then we started to stair step down, and then once we start pushing back up, volume is coming back in. And this thing this candle was very convincing to me. Once I saw this thing make this big bullish green candle, I wanted to see the first 5-minute candle to make a new high as soon as this next candle opened, and that's what we got. We had a big fat wall up here at highs. Again, this is our target. New high a day. There was a big fat wall right here at 23s. That thing got chipped down, and then I started scaling over highs. We started seeing some bidders stepped up. I was calling it out in the chat like, hey, I see these bidders stepping up. But once they started getting sold into, they were getting kind of ripped apart up here. I just scaled back out. But look at that, guys. Like, whatever average you have, 20. What are you risking? Maybe a cent here. I maybe would have gave it like a cent per share. You know, if this thing just started breaking down, maybe it's time to bail. But you got 3 cents per share of profit right here. You can have an easy 3 to 1. That's just money to me. It just makes sense, right? Everybody who missed this run up, I mean, this is going to be hard to trade. Yeah, you can trade this 1 minute setup, but the point is that the big traders, in my opinion, I'm freaking out. This is just what I've learned, are waiting for a place to enter on a pullback that makes sense. And if this thing's going to go higher, it's going to come back down, make the pullback, and it's going to rip for higher. You know what I mean? That's exactly what we got. Not much to talk about. This was an amazing play. This is what I look for. Again, I don't expect this to make or break my day, but this is just a tool. My 5 minute strategy, I need these plays. I need them to be simple. I need them to be easy to replicate. Again, look at this. It's a pre-market pivot. We're coming down. We're holding that. You know, VWAP's here, and then we make a big push. Like, I need these plays to be simple, something that I can replicate so I can implement my risk management plan. That's how you get consistently profitable, guys. Again, I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be. I'm not making any crazy money right now, but again, I am consistently profitable with these 5 minute setups. And if you have the discipline and the patience to wait for these, it is a great strategy. Next play we had was CRVO. God, I missed this perfect flag right here. I missed it, and that's okay. I nailed STI, and I was happy with that. And then I seen Queen K talking about something, which was this one. It had nice volume. Look at this volume. This is good volume. I don't know if it had news. I think it had news yesterday. Some clinical, whatever, blah, blah. Was a nice low floater. Pretty good room on the daily. Oh, it was in a gap, too. Yeah, this thing had a nice gap on the daily. That's very interesting, always. Look at this, guys. Look at this beautiful run up. Nice volume. This is valid because you're seeing this nice stair stepping up volume. Look at the 5 minute pullback, man. Lower volume stair stepping down pullback. That was gorgeous. I didn't trade this flag, but again, what am I looking for? We have the push up, right? I'm gonna mark my line at the high day because if this does give us a nice 5 minute pullback, that's gonna be my target. Real simple pivot right here, right on the 1 minute push up. Had some rejection right here. We broke above that, and that's what you want. Nice pivot to go off of. Now we start making this. Look at this lower volume pullback coming down to the VWAP. First VWAP tap, first 5 minute 8, and you got this pivot right here. That's a money entry right there. Probably would have took some right here if it kept breaking down. Time to bail. But again, you want to see this new highs, and that I think gave some pretty good range. Was that like 50, 60 cents a share right there? Look at this. Volume came back in. You see this candle right here? Volume was higher, which is a good sign that buyers are stepping up. Nice little 1 minute flag, and then it rips for new highs. And then it put in a nice second 5 minute pullback right here. Again, lower volume pullback. Nice little pivot right here. You can use the risk off of. That pretty much bounces up to 5 minute 8 again, and then makes new highs. I didn't trade any of these. I missed both of these. Again, first 5 minute pullback's great. Second 5 minute pullback's great. Here's the third 5 minute pullback. Obviously not as great. Starts to get a little bit extended. But when we were coming back down here, I liked the price action. All of this price action on this run up was very nice, and it still had pretty good price action. Kind of moving its way down to VWAP, and I was looking to take an entry off of VWAP. Kind of got close here, but once I seen buyers starting to step up again, and we make this green candle, I played the first 5 minute candle to make a new high. I was anticipating it, so I seen this next candle open, and I seen it trying to make a push. I think I slapped like 530s right in this area right here, and I was kind of just looking for it to retest this area resistance. I wasn't looking for much. We got that. I took my profits and I was out just for like a little scalp right there. A little scalp line, you know what I'm saying? Look, and then they try to push again. Little kill candle here. Okay, now price action starting to look a little weird. So, I kind of stopped watching it after that. But, I mean, it still made a good move throughout the day. But, again, we're focused on this first front side 5 minute flag, the second 5 minute flag. All this is, we're starting to look like a backside. This was a pretty decent trade off of VWAP. Again, I was looking for the first 5 minute candle to make a new high because none of these did. That was a good little push. But yeah, man, again, the moral of the story is first 5 minute pullbacks are going to be amazing. Second 5 minute pullbacks are going to be amazing. And this is what I'm looking for every single day. Every single day I'm looking for these. Yeah, that's it for now, man. We'll see what we get tomorrow. See ya.